two members of Slipknot, Joey and the Clown. Hello, boys.
Hey. Hello.
Hey. So, Slipknot hails from Des Moines, Ottawa, or Iowa. And it's a conservative middle-class town, is it not? Or what's it like there?
It's a graveyard with a bunch of buildings shooting out of it.
So what happened? What the heck happened to you guys from this place that is like, I imagine to be kind of like, are the strip malls there?
No, nothing really
You're
happened.
shaking.
We were just born.
She's shaking.
Am I shaking?
Yeah.
My ears are shaking. I'm very excited to see you, or not see you,
Yeah.
as it were. So when you
She's
all
nervous.
came together,
Yes.
you were all in different metal bands beforehand. What was your musical vision for Slipknot? What did you want to create?
Basically, all we wanted to do was get away from the preconceived notions of what a band should be and create something that basically is avoid music today. Like, our fan base is the sickest fan base I've ever seen out of any band. I can put myself out of the band and look at it like I'm just looking at it like I was a fan. And I cannot believe the fans that we have.
Is it insane?
They are the most amazing people I've ever seen.
Okay, we've got a close-up of the fans right now, right?
We can all make noise.
So also, it's like a total performance experience.
Well,
like
when
everything.
we were getting together, we were like, I don't want to push the envelope anymore. We're going to be the envelope.
Yeah, you are the envelope.
And I mean, how many bands do you see that have 3 drummers, 2 guitar players, a bass player, a DJ, a sampler, and a lead singer?
Yeah.
There's not that many bands like that.
And it's a thing that happens on stage where everybody just goes ballistic.
It's a very magical experience, you know, of the 9 of us coming together. It can't be duplicated, copied poorly at that. And it's either positive or negative energy. It's just up to everybody to decide which.
And the masks, how did the masks come into the whole situation?
When it came time to play shows, which was, I mean, we had already like recorded a demo, like an album worth of demos, and the music had meant so much to us up to that point that all the ridiculing and finger pointing and like disregarding of the music that we had done before in the place that we come from in Des Moines.
Yeah.
Basically, we wanted to shield all the rock and roll cliches and the bad influence that can come in and ruin bands, like, you know, the pants hanging off the ass, which is fine, and all the Adidas endorsements and the Puma stuff that has nothing to do with why you start playing music in the first place.
Right.
People start modeling Calvin Klein's jeans as they lose touch with who they are.
Yeah, you were saying that. So what happens? Like, is that the state of rock and roll right now? Like,
yeah, it
that
is.
bands can get sucked into like advertising stuff really quickly.
It's a scary thing, and you have to look at it the right way. And the right way is that there's nothing wrong with being part of stuff that you actually believe in, but being coaxed into something that you're just doing it for money, and you know, you're put on a billboard wearing something that you would never wear your whole life.
Yeah.
And in the beginning of your career, when you're hungriest, you would like look at that and go, there's no way I would ever do that. And then all of a sudden, you know, it's these people that put you in power. And then you're like, you know what, now that I'm in power, I just want it all. So, you know, I'll put those jeans on and I'll do something that normally I wouldn't do, but, you know, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
And that's the downfall of the art. And we live for the art.
Yeah, we don't want to.
So, like, if somebody said, hey, I'll give you $1 million to put these uncomfortable jeans on, would you do it?
No.
You wouldn't do it? Never.
Absolutely not. You know, every one of these guys and girls, you know, sometimes they have their favorite members. And, you know, like when I'm up on stage, I'll have people that'll stand in front of the clown and they'll mimic. You know, I used to think it was like just mimicking things that I do.
Yeah.
But I realized that the reason why they're in front of me is because they have a little clown in them.
Yeah.
And I'll see the pain, I'll see them releasing the pain, and that's worth more to me because who cares about the rest of it? When I'm old and gray and I'm looking back on my life and realizing that I got to live out my dream, I'm going to see other people that we shared, you know, because you can be black, you can be white, you can be Chinese, you can be an alien, it doesn't matter.
You can be a bunny rabbit.
You can be anything you want, but when people come to a Slipknot show, it's all about the music. And, you know, you find out firsthand that music is the universal language, because we've been all around the world now, and everybody just express themselves, and it's the best thing in the world.
Do you find that, like, there's a sort of anonymous aspect of having a mask on?
Well,
or is it, like, that you can be more of yourself, like an unedited...
We don't have identity crisis.
Yeah.
You know? We don't want to have, you know, we have nothing in common with bands that have identity crisis. Basically, like, shielding ourselves and making sure that all that bad influence is completely removed, the music will only get heavier, it will only get sicker, get more nihilistic and apocalyptic with each album we do.
Is it really crusty inside your masks?
It's a, you know, and about the mask, you know, I'll kick your ass with or without a mask. I don't care. I don't hide behind nothing, you know.
No, like, if these kids recognize who we are without them, it's not like we try and run away and pretend we're not who we are.
Right.
I know who I am.
Just on stage, together, we serve the purpose of killing the rock and roll cliche. We sit
Kill the rock and roll cliche.
Absolutely.
No,
to death.
Because it's boring. It's overused, isn't it? It needs new life.
It's why the last 10 years music has had no soul. You know, we're trying to bring back the soul of things to where when, you know, I always tell Joe that, you know, I was a fat, ugly kid who had to work 2 weeks to buy his ticket to who I thought were gods, you know, the bands that I grew up on. And I got the nosebleed seats, and I never got to touch the band. I never got to talk to the band. But yet, my room was filled with their posters, filled with their albums. I knew every lyrical aspect of it. I knew how to play the drums to it. And we're trying to get back, you know, and now we have like a whole slogan of like, we like to go give backstage passes to the kids who would normally never have an opportunity, you know, to have anything to do with it. And we spend hours outside our bus before the show, after the show, just talking, man, because people are so creative. And
like with your mask on or without your mask on?
Without. When we take pictures, we'll hide our faces because, you know, if we're getting all these people to understand what we're about, they shouldn't need a picture of my face.
Right.
You know, they should just, you know, I say I'm going to cover my face, and then that way when they take it home, they tell their friend, hey, look, I took a picture with the clown and Joey, and people are like, that isn't them. They should go, well, whatever. It doesn't matter what you think.
The best photo albums right here.
Yep, absolutely.
You don't need materialistic things to like show off things. It's not about name dropping, it's about memory.
Well, I have the luxury of taking off my mask, or it's going like this. Hey, hi. So, on surfacing, you've got this kind of like really anthemic chorus that says, and I have to substitute.
Oh, go ahead and
say it.
I
have to substitute the word because this is family viewing, but I'll substitute the word freak for the other word that everybody all knows. But it says, freak it all, freak the world, freak everything that you stand for, don't belong, don't exist, don't give a crap, don't ever judge me. Why do you need to break it all down? Why do you have to break, like, what's the purpose?
Why don't you break it all down?
Yeah.
Say it the way it is. Why hide behind it? Why like try and like make things seem like what they're not? If you touch into that, if you tap into that realm, and you're completely honest with yourself, and you're completely honest with the people that you're playing for, all the pain and all the suffering that you have within the soul like disappears, and you liberate yourself.
Yeah.
And you become one with being an individual, and you then do not care.
So you have to do that.
You then do not care.
It all.
That's why I do
You did
that kind of stuff all the time.
You don't have to care
Hit me in the head. Come on. One more time. Yeah, we love that, Steve.
Does it feel good?
It does. You don't even feel it. I mean, I challenge any band to try and play a song like Surfacing. I'll challenge any band to go up and play what we do live. Any band.
We're in it. We're in it. We are actually in it. And you don't understand. Every decision, whether it's how I walk into the venue, what I eat today, where I'm going to take a shower, what songs we're going to play, everything we're concerned about. You know, because we're not going to make any decisions that are going to hurt the art or hurt our people.
Right.
Because we're tired of it.
So, like, to bash your head like that and to, like,
that's nothing.
Go ballistic. What is it? What's the purpose of it? It's just like to wipe the slate clean?
Well, it's not really any sort of purpose. It's just being caught up in the moment. Like he says, or I said in interviews before, or whenever, we make peace with ourselves before we go out and play for these kids and, like, literally kill ourselves on stage. I mean, I'm dying right now.
Like, how far will it go, though? Like, in terms of, like, would you die for your art?
Yeah. What are you talking about? Like I said, we make peace with our, we go out every night, and I know that there is a possibility that I could die. He has broken a pipe over a keg, like a huge, like, copper tubing pipe, which is probably, like, 3 inches thick, broken it in half. It's flipped up and cut my whole scalp right open. Split my head right open.
Wow. So, like, how do you create a really intense situation? Do you ever feel like you've got to create, like, an even bigger intense situation? Like once you've sort of made one
it comes naturally.
Do you have to feel like you got to bring it up to the next level?
Yeah, we evolve naturally, and that's the beautiful thing. We have always said that the day that we as members of Slipknot, the movement, the day that there's nothing to do and we have no interest, that's the day we quit. And the quote always goes that we're like 3 years behind.
Yeah.
Our ideas can't come out fast. I mean, we're constantly doing it.
We barely even touched on what we can do.
Yeah, well, the thing is, the music is really innovative, too.
Thank you.
Besides, like, Black Sabbath and the people that everybody mentions, you also mentioned influences like George Carlin, comedian George Carlin, Lenny Bruce, the Melvins. Incredible, innovative creators. You find that, like, the form of heavy music has to go somewhere else?
Well, why would it want to keep repeating itself? I mean, you don't want to let it get stale and you don't want it to get too repetitive. The fact is, I mean, there's always going to be people coming up with something new. It's up to the fans to decide whether it's worth anything.
Right. And finally, what would be a really big message that you want to impart to your fans?
The fact that they go out and they wear the attitude on their sleeve, which we represent, is the most humbling and, like, liberating thing we could ever have. I love every one of them so much. I mean, I'll do anything for them anytime.
Okay, well, you take care of yourselves, hey? You gotta keep playing music. All right, so you're playing tonight at the Warehouse in Toronto and tomorrow night in Montreal. And
Are you going to the show?
if you put me on the test list, can I get on the test list?
You have to be there.
Okay.
You can't do an interview and not come to the
I
show.
know. Well, I've seen the footage.
So you're going to break...
Don't stay on his side of the stage.
We're going to make you break the mold, okay? Because it was your job to interview us.
Yeah.
Tonight, we're going to put you on the list. We're going to bring you in. You're going to see the band firsthand. And then tomorrow, or whenever, when you think you have to do all these other things for this company, you will, from your heart, say something about the Knot, because you will realize...
Because I'll have seen it.
You will realize that truth is the most important thing in this world. And you'll understand.
Right on. Okay.
Thanks.
Well, I'll be there, and I'll be seeing the spectacle for sure. Okay, Slipknot, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.